There is a message that has arrived for you. Not in your email, not in your inbox, but in the silence of your heart, in the quiet moments you ignore. A divine courier is at your door. Archangel Michael himself is holding a sealed envelope with your name written in light. But you haven't opened it yet. You've been too busy, too distracted, too doubtful. This is not a test. This is not a metaphor. This is your final spiritual alert. In the grand design of the cosmos, where stars are born and destinies are woven, there exists a communication system far beyond human invention. It does not rely on networks, satellites, or signals. It operates on the frequency of faith, the bandwidth of belief, and the silent, unwavering language of the soul. Today, that system has been activated specifically for you. A transmission has been sent from the highest realms, carried by the mightiest of couriers, and it is now waiting, has been waiting, for your acknowledgement. This is not about religion as the world defines it. This is about truth as the universe reveals it. You are not an accident in a chaotic void. You are a deliberate creation, a conscious being placed in a physical form for a purpose that only your spirit fully understands. And that purpose is now knocking so loudly that it can no longer be ignored. Think of the most important letter you have ever received. Perhaps it was an acceptance letter, a love note, a life-changing diagnosis, or news that shifted your entire world. Remember the weight of that moment, the trembling hands, the racing heart before you opened it. Now, amplify that feeling by 1,000. What you are being offered now is not of this world. Its contents are not typed on paper but etched into the fabric of your eternal identity. Archangel Michael, known across spiritual traditions as the protector, the warrior of light, the deliverer of divine will, is not merely a figure from ancient text. He is an active, immense consciousness, a radiant intelligence whose primary function is to guard the light within humanity and to deliver the urgent decrees of the Creator directly to those who are ready to hear them. When such a being says, "I order you to open this," it is not a threat from a tyrant. It is the urgent plea of a physician to a patient in critical condition. It is the shout of a lifeguard to a swimmer drifting toward a riptide. The order comes from a place of supreme knowledge and unconditional love, seeing the danger you cannot see and the opportunity you are about to miss. Why a courier? Why not a booming voice from the sky or a miracle in the clouds? Because God respects your free will. A forced revelation is no revelation at all. The divine method is one of invitation, of gentle placement, of persistent knocking. The courier is the series of synchronicities you have been dismissing, the repeated number sequences on clocks, the sudden memory of a forgotten dream, the stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear, the book that fell off the shelf, the overwhelming feeling of being guided that you shrugged off as coincidence. These are all signatures of the courier's path. Archangel Michael orchestrates these signs. He clears the path, places the clues, and amplifies the whispers of your intuition into clear calls to action. The parcel has been left at your door. You have seen the shadow of the messenger, heard the faint knock, and perhaps even glanced at the package. But you have been afraid to open it. You think it might contain a bill, a demand, a responsibility you are not ready for. You fear it might be a judgment, a list of your failures, a divine condemnation. That fear is the very lock on the door. Let us dismantle that fear now, with truth. The Creator does not operate through shame. The divine does not send regrets. What is in this delivery is threefold. First, your true name. Not the name on your birth certificate, but the vibrational signature of your soul, the name you were given before time began, which encapsulates your mission, your power, and your essence. Knowing this name is the first step to wielding your authentic authority. Second, a map. This is not a map to worldly treasure, but to the treasure of your own spirit, a guide through the inner labyrinth of your fears, wounds, and illusions, leading directly to the chamber of your heart where your unbreakable connection to Source resides. Third, a key, a specific, actionable frequency, a prayer, a mantra, a conscious thought form, that will begin to unlock the chains you have placed upon your own potential. This is the something only you should see, because it is custom designed for your soul's journey. No other being in all of existence has your exact map, your exact name, your exact key. To give it to another would be useless. To ignore it yourself would be catastrophic to your spiritual evolution. The warning, before it's too late, pulses with a gravity we must comprehend. Too late does not mean an eternal punishment. It means the window of ease is closing. The universe is in constant motion, and your soul is on a specific timetable of growth. There are celestial alignments, energetic portals, and cycles of grace that support your awakening. You are currently in such a cycle. This moment, right now, is a confluence of energy designed to make your breakthrough not only possible but smooth. To delay is to choose to undertake the same journey later, but through rougher terrain, with greater resistance, and without the same level of cosmic support. It is the difference between crossing a river by a provided bridge or waiting until the bridge is gone and attempting to swim against a torrential current. The destination is the same, but the pain, struggle, and time lost are entirely avoidable. Archangel Michael sees the bridge retracting. His order is born from that foresight. Consider your life as it is. Look at the recurring problems, the persistent anxieties, the feeling of being stuck, the silent yearning for meaning that no material success seems to satisfy. These are not random sufferings. They are the direct symptoms of an unopened package. They are the soul's way of creating friction, of making the status quo so uncomfortable that you are finally forced to look for the key. The fatigue you feel is not from overwork alone. It is the fatigue of a spirit trying to power your life with a dimmed light when it has access to a sun. The confusion you experience is not from a lack of intelligence. It is the confusion of navigating a dark room with a dying flashlight when a master blueprint and a floodlight are sitting, unopened, in the center of that room. The loneliness is the isolation of believing you are separate from the divine, when in fact, the message waiting for you is the ultimate proof of your eternal connection. How do you open it? The action is not physical. You open it with your attention, your intention, and your surrender. Start here, become silent. For the next 5 minutes, step away from all noise, the phone, the TV, the chatter of your own worrying mind. Sit in a quiet space. This is you walking to the door where the package lies. Acknowledge the sender. In your heart or out loud, say, I am here. I acknowledge the message from the divine, delivered by Archangel Michael. I am ready to receive. This is you picking up the package. Ask the key question. Then, ask with genuine curiosity, not demand, what is my true name? Show me the next step on my map. Give me the key. Then, be still. Listen not with your ears, but with your entire being. The first opening often comes as a wave of peace, a sudden clear thought, a memory, a word that pops into your mind, or a profound sense of being known and loved. Write it down. That is the first page of your message. This process requires courage because it bypasses the ego. The ego, the part of you that believes you are only this body and this personality, is terrified of this package. It will rationalize, this is nonsense. Get back to work. You're making things up. It will distract you with urgent trivialities. It will stoke fear. Your task is to gently thank the ego for its concern. It has, after all, tried to protect you in its limited way, and then turn your attention back to the courier's gift. The ego is the security guard who refuses to accept a delivery for the CEO. You must now identify yourself as the CEO of your own soul and sign for the package. The message is also an activation. The moment you sincerely intend to open it, dormant codes within your DNA begin to stir. Your light body, your energetic auric field, starts to reconfigure at a higher frequency. You may feel unusual sensations, tingling, warmth, chills, a feeling of expansion. You may experience vivid dreams, a sudden influx of creative ideas, or a renewed sense of energy. This is the courier's seal breaking, the light from the envelope beginning to spill out. Do not fear these sensations. They are signs of alignment, not illness. You are not breaking down, you are upgrading. What does Archangel Michael want? His role is to serve the divine plan by ensuring that light triumphs over darkness, both in the cosmos and within each human heart. He wants you to claim your rightful place as a sovereign, powerful being of light. He wants you to stop living as a beggar at the table of life when you are an heir to the kingdom. The darkness in the world feeds on ignorance, fear, and disconnection. Your open package, your awakened state, is not just for you. It is a node of light that automatically strengthens the entire human grid. By opening your message, you become a more effective agent of positive change, a clearer vessel for love, and an unassailable fortress of peace in a stormy world. Your liberation contributes to the liberation of all. Therefore, this is not a passive listening exercise. This is an active, spiritual emergency. The courier is not waiting indefinitely. The energy of this specific opportunity, this precise alignment of support, has an expiration date. This is why the warning is so direct: I order you. It is the ultimate expression of compassionate urgency. You are being called not to a life of monastic solitude, but to a life of empowered, divine partnership. You are to perform your daily tasks, engage in your relationships, and pursue your goals, but now from the unshakable foundation of knowing who you truly are and what you carry within you. Your job becomes a ministry. Your home becomes a sanctuary. Your challenges become initiations. Your entire life transforms because the lens through which you view it has been cleansed by divine light. The first step is always the decision. The decision to believe that this message is real. The decision to believe that you are worthy of a direct communication from the divine. The decision to act on that belief. Do not wait for a bigger sign. The biggest sign is the longing in your heart that led you to read these very words. That longing is the courier's knock. These words are part of the map. Your feeling right now is the key beginning to turn in the lock. The time for speculation is over. The time for reception has begun. From this moment forward, your life splits into two timelines. Timeline A, you close this, return to the noise, and the knocking gradually fades. The package, through a law of spiritual reciprocity, is returned to sender. Your path remains familiar, but the yearning grows quieter, buried under layers of resignation. The bridge retracts. Timeline B, you choose, right now, to accept delivery. You make the silent prayer. You perform the act of inner listening. You open the first page. The light floods in. The map unfolds. Your journey home to yourself begins with a clarity and a power you have never known. Archangel Michael stands guard on this timeline, his sword deflecting the doubts and fears that will still come, his hand guiding you to the next step, and the next. The courier's mission is complete upon your receipt. The rest is between you and the infinite love that sent it. The message is open. The light is yours. The path is clear. The only question that remains is, which timeline do you choose to walk? To open the package is one thing. To understand its contents is another. The first flash of light, the initial wave of peace, that was the breaking of the seal. Now comes the slow, deliberate, and awe-inspiring process of unwrapping. Imagine standing in a room that has been dark for decades. You have just found the light switch. You press it. For a single, blinding moment, everything is washed in a brilliance that hurts your eyes. You close them instinctively, but when you open them again, slowly, allowing your vision to adjust, you begin to see the room not as a void, but as a space. You see shapes, colors, objects you had forgotten were there. This is the stage you now enter. The initial shock of recognition gives way to the profound work of examination. The light is not meant to dazzle you into inactivity, it is meant to illuminate the path so you can walk. The first item within the package is your true name. This is not a word to be spoken lightly into the air. It is a frequency, a resonant chord that exists within the symphony of creation. When you were formed from stardust and spirit, a specific note was sounded. That note is your name in the language of God. It contains the blueprint of your highest potential, the summary of your soul's contract, and the harmonic code that, when aligned with, brings every aspect of your being into congruence. For your entire life, you have responded to a label, a pleasant sound given to you by loved ones, but a label nonetheless. It carries the energy of their hopes, their limitations, their history. Responding to it has subtly tuned you to a human frequency. Your true name tunes you to a divine one. Hearing it, even in the silent chambers of your heart, is like a tuning fork striking pure crystal. Everything false within you vibrates discordantly and begins to fall away. Everything true begins to hum in unison. How do you hear it? It is not heard with ears. It is felt as a knowing. In the silence you have cultivated, after asking the key question, you may receive an impression. It could be a color, a sensation in your body, a symbol, or a feeling tone, like the essence of courage, or peace, or boundless creativity. For some, an actual word or sound in an unknown, melodic language may arise. Do not dismiss it because it feels unfamiliar. The ego, which is built upon the persona of your given name, will reject this. It will call it imagination. But imagination is the very faculty through which the spirit speaks to the mind. This impression is the first whisper of your name. Accept it. Write it down as best you can, as a description, a drawing, a single letter. This is your starting point. Over the days that follow, as you return to this silence and invite the name to become clearer, it will integrate into your awareness, changing how you see yourself and, consequently, how you move through the world. You will stop introducing yourself from a place of social role and begin introducing yourself, silently, from a place of spiritual sovereignty. With the name comes the map. This is the second item. It is not a parchment with lines and landmarks. It is an inner navigation system, now activated. The map is written in the language of intuition, coincidence, and deep inner pull. It charts the territory between who you have believed yourself to be and who you truly are. The path it shows is not linear. It spirals inward, leading you repeatedly to the same core lessons dressed in different circumstances until you master them. The map has one destination, the heart of your own being, where the divine spark resides undimmed. But along the way, it points out traps, your core fears, resting places, moments of grace and integration, and allies, people, ideas, and inspirations that will aid your journey. You read this map by paying exquisite attention to your life as it unfolds right now. The frustrating delay, the unexpected encounter, the closed door, the sudden opportunity, these are all markings on the map. Before, they seemed random. Now, with the map activated, you can ask, what is this showing me? What lesson is this pointing toward? How does this relate to my fear of abandonment, or my need for control, or my disbelief in my own worth? The map does not prevent challenges. It decrypts them. A problem is no longer just a problem. It is a specific coordinate on your spiritual journey, and facing it head-on with awareness is the only way to move to the next coordinate. Archangel Michael, as the protector, ensures that you are never given a coordinate beyond your current capacity to navigate, though it will always stretch you to the edge of your growth. His presence is the promise that you cannot be truly lost as long as you consult the map. The third item is the key. This is the practical, actionable tool. It is the how. If the name is your identity and the map is your direction, the key is the engine. It is the specific spiritual practice, the mental discipline, or the conscious act that begins to unlock the chains. For one person, the key might be a daily 5-minute practice of feeling gratitude not for things, but for the very fact of consciousness. For another, it might be the key of forgiveness, starting with the self, then radiating outward. For another, it could be the silent repetition of a phrase like, I am light, or, thy will be done, allowing it to rewire subconscious beliefs. Your key is unique. It will feel simultaneously simple and profoundly powerful. It will be the thing you have always known you should do but have resisted. That resistance is the lock. The key fits perfectly into it. Using the key requires consistency, not perfection. It is the daily turning of the lock. You do not need to meditate for hours or recite complex prayers. You need to perform your key action with pure intention, even for 60 seconds, a dozen times a day. This consistent action sends a signal through the entire universe, I am in alignment with my package. I am using the gift. This signal amplifies the light around you and attracts circumstances, people, and resources that match your new, emerging frequency. The key is not magic, it is mechanics. It aligns your will with divine will, and in that alignment, miracles are simply the natural law in action. Now, a critical juncture appears. With the light now shining, you will see the shadows more clearly. This is not a failure, it is a function of the light. The parts of your life, your habits, your relationships, and your thoughts that are not in harmony with your true name will be thrown into stark relief. This can be a period of intense discomfort. You may feel urges to let go of situations or people you have clung to for security. You may see the emptiness of certain pursuits. This is the map doing its job, showing you where you are, not where you wish you were. Archangel Michael does not remove these shadows for you. He stands beside you, his energy giving you the courage to face them. He is the warrior who guards you while you do your own work. The divine will not violate your free will by taking away your challenges. It empowers you to overcome them. This is the sacred partnership. You provide the willingness. The universe provides the means. The Archangel provides the protection. This stage is often where many falter. The initial euphoria fades, and the real work begins. The mind, comfortable in its old darkness, will whisper that the light was an illusion, that this is too hard, that you were better off before. This is the final, desperate stand of the ego against the awakening soul. It is the moment you must hold the key tighter than ever and use it. One more act of forgiveness. One more minute of grateful silence. One more step forward on the map, even though you cannot see the entire path. This is faith in motion. And it is in this precise motion that a second, deeper layer of the package reveals itself. It is not new content, but a new depth of understanding. The name becomes more than a concept, it becomes a lived experience. You find yourself reacting differently to provocation, not because you are suppressing anger, but because the provocation simply does not resonate with the vibration of who you now know you are. The map becomes more intuitive. You start to anticipate lessons. You recognize an ally or a trap long before it fully manifests, because you have learned to read the energetic signatures that precede events. The key becomes effortless, a natural part of your rhythm, like breathing. And as this integration deepens, a fourth element of the package subtly emerges from the first three. It is the sword. This is not a sword of violence, but of discernment. It is the unflinching clarity to cut through illusion, both internal and external. It is the ability to say no to what drains your light and yes to what amplifies it, without guilt or apology. It is the power to sever energetic cords to past traumas, toxic relationships, and self-limiting beliefs. This sword is Archangel Michael's signature tool, and he now places its handle in your hand. You have earned it through your willingness to face the shadows. It is the tool of a sovereign being. You will learn to wield it not with anger, but with calm, unwavering truth. It is the ultimate protector of your newly awakened light. So you see, the package is not static. It is a living, evolving interaction between your consciousness and the divine. It responds to your courage. It deepens with your commitment. The warning, before it's too late, was about catching this initial wave of grace to begin the process. But the process itself is eternal. The journey has no end, only ever deepening beginnings. You are not just receiving a message. You are being initiated into a new way of existing. And as you stand in this new light, wielding your new tools, you will look back at the person who first heard the knock at the door and realize they were a stranger. You have remembered who you are. And in that remembering, your entire relationship with reality transforms. The world outside may look the same, but you see it with different eyes. You hear with different ears. You are no longer a prisoner of circumstance, but a conscious co-creator of your destiny. The courier's mission is indeed complete, but yours is just beginning. The light you have accepted is not a passive glow. It is an active current, a river of living intelligence that now seeks to flow through every artery of your existence. To have the tools is one thing, to build with them is the next great undertaking. The name, the map, the key, the sword, these are not artifacts to be admired in a sacred cabinet. They are extensions of your own being, waiting to be used, worn, and woven into the very fabric of your daily life. This is where the theoretical becomes tangible, where the spiritual download manifests as a changed life. The world will test this change. It will send old triggers, familiar dramas, and the seductive whispers of your past self to see if your new foundation holds. Do not fear these tests. They are not punishments, but calibrations. Each one is a masterfully designed question from the universe. Have you truly learned this lesson? Can you apply your light here, in this difficult place? Your response is your answer. And with each correct answer, the current within you flows stronger, wider, and with greater force. Consider the nature of this divine current. It is not an emotion, though it can fill you with indescribable joy. It is not an idea, though it can bring brilliant clarity. It is the substance of creation itself. It is the energy that spun galaxies from thought and breathed life into dust. And this same energy is now anchored within you, in the space your surrender opened. Your body is its temple. Your mind is its translator. Your heart is its conduit to the world. This anchoring causes a shift in your fundamental state of being. You may notice a gradual detachment from the frantic pulse of collective anxiety. News cycles, social pressures, and the chaotic hum of fear-based narratives begin to feel like distant radio static. This is not indifference, it is perspective. You are tuning to a different, more stable broadcast, the eternal signal of truth, which reports only on the expansion of love and the evolution of consciousness. From this vantage point, you can engage with the world from a place of choice, not reaction. You can offer help without burning out, because you draw from an infinite source, not a finite reservoir. You can face injustice with a fierce compassion that seeks to heal systems, not just vilify perpetrators. This is the warrior aspect of the light, guided by Archangel Michael's principle of righteous action. It is protection made proactive. You become a guardian of peace, first within your own mind, then in your immediate environment, and finally as an energetic contribution to the whole. This guardianship starts with vigilance over your own inner kingdom. The thoughts you entertain are the citizens of this kingdom. The emotions you feel are its climate. Before the light, this kingdom may have been in chaos, thoughts running amok, emotions storming unpredictably. Now, with the clarity of the sword, you can govern. You notice a fearful thought arising. Before, it would have taken the throne, declared an emergency, and mobilized your entire body into stress. Now, you see it for what it is, a mental event, a piece of programming, a shadow. You acknowledge it without judgment. You might even thank it for its misguided attempt to protect you. And then, with the authority of your true name, you choose a different thought. You replace, I can't, with, I am guided. You replace, I am alone, with, I am connected to all that is. This is not naive positivity. It is conscious recreation. You are using your sovereign power to draft a new law in your inner kingdom. Each time you do this, you strengthen the neural pathways of light and weaken the old pathways of fear. You are literally rewiring your brain to match your soul's frequency. This internal governance has immediate external effects. The principle of resonance states that you attract what you are. As your inner kingdom finds peace, your outer world must, by universal law, begin to mirror that peace. This does not mean a life without challenge. It means challenges arrive not as tsunamis to drown you, but as waves you have learned to surf. People who thrive on drama will find your energy uninteresting and drift away. Opportunities that require you to compromise your integrity will cease to appear. Instead, you will find yourself meeting coincidental allies, stumbling upon exactly the resource you need, and feeling an intuitive nudge toward actions that lead to surprising joy and fulfillment. This is the map in real time. You are following the breadcrumbs of synchronicity. The key is the daily habit that keeps your frequency tuned high enough to see these breadcrumbs. Perhaps your key is a morning declaration. Today, I see evidence of divine order in everything. With that lens, a traffic jam becomes a chance to breathe and listen to a meaningful song on the radio. A work conflict becomes a lesson in clear communication. A personal failure becomes data for growth, not evidence of worthlessness. You begin to live in a state of active partnership with the universe. You ask for guidance, and you receive it, not in a booming voice, but in the next thought that feels inspired, in the book a friend recommends, in the sudden knowing of what step to take. You learn to act on these subtle prompts, and in doing so, you build trust in the partnership. The more you trust, the clearer the prompts become. This is the dialogue of co-creation. Now, let us address a profound shift that occurs in this stage, the transformation of your relationship with time. The old you lived in lack of time, lack of money, lack of love, lack of opportunity. The mantra of lack is a prayer that is always answered. It generates more lack. The awakened you, connected to the infinite current, begins to operate from a consciousness of abundance. Abundance is not the possession of many things. It is the unshakable knowing that the source of all provision is within you and eternally available. It is the understanding that time is not a linear enemy, but a flexible medium through which purpose unfolds. When you act from alignment, time often seems to bend. Delays become blessings, wasted time yields unexpected insights, and you accomplish with ease what used to require struggle. This is because you are no longer swimming against the current of your true purpose, you are flowing with it. Financial anxieties begin to dissolve not because money rains from the sky, but because your relationship to it changes. You see money as one form of energy exchange. You focus on providing immense value from your place of passion and purpose, value that is an expression of your light. As you do this, the energy must return to you, often in the form of money, but also as opportunities, connections, and profound satisfaction. You give freely, not from depletion, but from overflow, knowing the current is endless. This is the economy of heaven, and you are now a citizen. Perhaps the most beautiful transformation is in your relationships. You can no longer tolerate relationships based on manipulation, neediness, or shared wounds. The sword of discernment becomes essential here. You learn to love people without carrying their burdens. You learn to set boundaries not as walls of rejection, but as gates of self-respect that say, you may enter my space only if you respect the light here. Some relationships will deepen beautifully under this new light, as you connect soul to soul rather than wound to wound. Others will fall away, and you will release them with love, understanding that your paths have diverged because your vibrational destinations are now different. This is a natural and merciful process. You are not abandoning anyone, you are simply walking your path, and allowing them the dignity to walk theirs. New relationships will appear, people who speak the same silent language of the heart, who recognize your light because they carry their own. These connections are effortless and energizing. They are the alliances your map foretold. Throughout this entire transformation, the presence of Archangel Michael is a constant, stabilizing force. He is not a crutch, but a commander. His energy is one of unwavering strength, courage, and celestial order. When you feel doubt, call upon his essence. You will not see wings or hear trumpets. You will feel a surge of inner fortitude, a straightening of your spine, a clearing of mental fog. He helps you hold the sword of discernment steady when your hand trembles. He amplifies the signal of your true name when the world's noise tries to drown it out. He is the embodiment of the divine decree that light must prevail, and he is with you because you have chosen to be an agent of that light. Your very life becomes a living testament to the message of the courier. You are the proof that the package was real. Your peace in chaos is the evidence. Your compassion in the face of hatred is the validation. Your creative solutions to old problems are the demonstration. You are no longer just a believer in the message, you are the message made flesh. And in this state, you will feel a new call arising from deep within. It is the call to service. Not a burdensome duty, but a joyful impulse to extend the current flowing through you. This service is unique to your gift. It might be through art that heals, through business that empowers, through teaching that illuminates, or simply through the radiant, quiet presence that calms every room you enter. You serve by being fully who you are. The light does the rest. It touches, it transforms, it awakens others without you needing to say a word. This is the final stage of unwrapping the gift, realizing it was never meant for you alone. It was meant to be shared through the unique frequency of your being. The warning, this opportunity will not come back again, was about the moment of choice to accept the delivery. But the grace within the package, once opened, is eternal and ever expanding. It is a well that will never run dry, a sun that will never set. You have crossed a threshold from which there is no return, nor would you want one. The old world of fear and separation is fading like a dream upon waking. The new world of connection, co-creation, and conscious love is not a distant paradise, it is the reality you are building within and around yourself, right now, with every thought aligned with truth, every action guided by love, and every moment lived in grateful partnership with the divine. The courier has delivered. You have opened the message. Now, you must become it. As you become the message, a subtle but monumental inversion takes place within your perception. You are no longer a seeker looking for the light. You realize you have become a source from which light emanates. This is not an inflation of the ego, but a humble recognition of truth. A candle does not boast when it is lit, it simply ceases to be part of the darkness. It fulfills its nature, so too do you. This shift from seeker to source changes everything about how you interact with reality. You stop asking the universe to give you signs and start realizing that your every thought, word, and action is a sign you are giving to the universe. You are constantly broadcasting your state of being, and the world arranges itself accordingly. This is the law of divine magnetism in its highest expression. You are not pulling things toward you from a place of need, you are radiating a frequency that naturally and effortlessly attracts its harmonic match. The old paradigm of manifestation, visualizing, affirming, striving to grab what you desire, falls away. It is replaced by a state of being so complete in itself that all necessary forms flow into your experience without strain, like rivers finding the sea. Your work is no longer to chase, but to clarify your signal. To remove the internal static of unresolved fear, unforgiven past, and future anxiety. This is the maintenance of your light. It becomes your primary responsibility, your most sacred duty. And in this duty, you find ultimate freedom. For when your inner world is clear, your outer world cannot help but reflect that clarity. This does not create a life devoid of feeling. On the contrary, you feel more deeply than ever before. But you feel from a place of power, not victimhood. You allow grief to pass through you without becoming your identity. You feel anger as a clean signal that a boundary has been crossed, and you act from clarity, not rage. Joy becomes your baseline, not a fleeting peak. This emotional sovereignty is the fruit of wielding your tools. The name grounds you in what is eternal. The map shows you the purpose of the emotion. The key unlocks the lesson within it. The sword cuts the cord that binds you to it once its message is received. You are no longer a raft tossed on stormy seas. You are the captain of a ship, using the wind and waves themselves for propulsion. Your relationship with the physical world deepens in reverence. You begin to see the divine current not just within you, but in everything. In the patience of a tree, in the resilience of a blade of grass pushing through concrete, in the intricate geometry of a snowflake, in the vast, silent intelligence of a mountain. The world is no longer a collection of objects to be used, but a communion of subjects, each expressing a facet of the infinite. You walk with a lighter step, knowing the earth is alive and conscious. You consume with gratitude, knowing everything is a gift. This awareness brings a natural ethics. You cannot knowingly harm that which you see as an expression of the same light you carry. Compassion becomes automatic, not an effort. Your life simplifies, not through austerity, but through discernment. You are drawn to what is true, beautiful, and useful. The clutter, physical, digital, and mental, falls away. You have less, but you experience more. A single moment of genuine connection holds more richness than a year of frantic acquisition. Silence becomes a coveted companion, for in it you hear the whispers of your next inspired action. This simplicity is the hallmark of a life powered by an internal sun. You no longer need external stimuli to feel alive. You are alive with the pulse of creation itself. In this space, your unique purpose, the one encoded in your true name, comes into sharp focus. It may not be a single job or title. It is more likely a quality you bring to everything you do. It might be the quality of healing, of bringing order, of inspiring hope, of grounding chaos, of seeing beauty. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you express this quality. The nurse expresses it through caring touch. The accountant expresses it through creating order and integrity. The parent expresses it through nurturing presence. The artist expresses it through revealing hidden truth. Your vocation becomes a vehicle for your essence. And because you are operating from source, your work is energizing, not draining. You give from overflow, and the act of giving refills the well. This is the secret of endless vitality. You will notice that sleep becomes more restorative, food tastes more vibrant, and your body feels more like a partner than a problem. The light current is a cleansing, healing force. Old ailments may improve or shift as stagnant energy is flushed from your system. Listen to your body's wisdom. It is now a direct messenger of your alignment. Fatigue is a signal to rest and integrate, not to push through with caffeine. Aches are signals to release held emotions. Vitality is a confirmation you are on path. Your body is the holy ground where spirit meets matter. Honor it as the temple it has become. In this stage, your perception of other people undergoes a radical transformation. You stop seeing them as their personalities, their dramas, their opinions. You begin to perceive, however faintly, the light within them, the eternal being that is temporarily wearing a human costume, playing a role for its soul's growth. Even when they act from fear, you see the frightened child within, not the monster. This does not mean you become a doormat. The sword of discernment is always active. You see their light, and you also see clearly where their behavior is out of alignment with it. You can therefore interact with compassion for the being, while having absolutely no tolerance for toxic behavior. You hold a space of unconditional love for their soul, while setting very conditional boundaries for their actions. This is the balance of the master. It frees you from taking things personally. An insult is seen as a revelation of the insulter's pain, not a truth about you. Praise is seen as a reflection of the praiser's joy, not the measure of your worth. You are anchored in your true name, which is unassailable. This detachment is the foundation of true, unconditional love. Love is not an emotion you feel for people when they please you. It is the steady, unattached recognition of the divine in them, regardless of what they do. From this place, you become a powerful agent of healing simply by your presence. You don't need to fix anyone. Your anchored light creates a field around you that gives others permission to remember their own. Some will be drawn to you. Some will be repelled. Both are perfect. Archangel Michael's energy now works through you as a protective, clarifying force for those you are meant to serve. You may find yourself saying the exact words someone needs to hear, or showing up at the exact moment you are needed, guided by an intuition that feels like a gentle, internal push. You are now part of the network of light, a conscious node in the divine communication system you once only heard about. The concept of being alone vanishes. You feel the support of unseen guides, the presence of ancestors in light, the solidarity of other awakened beings across the globe. You are part of a silent army of peace, whose weapon is love and whose strategy is authenticity. The battles you fight are internal, against your own last vestiges of fear. The external world's chaos becomes a backdrop against which you practice your peace. And as you practice, your peace becomes contagious. This is how the light spreads. Not through grand crusades, but through a million daily acts of courage, kindness, and integrity by individuals who have opened their package. The opportunity that will not come back was your personal invitation to join this quiet revolution. By accepting, you have enlisted. Your life is now your mission. And in this mission, even death loses its sting. You have touched the eternal within you. You know you are not this body, not this story. You are the conscious awareness experiencing them. Physical death becomes simply another transition, a change of form, a return home to a broader perspective. This knowing liberates you from the deepest human fear, allowing you to live with breathtaking boldness and freedom. You take creative risks, love openly, and speak your truth, because the worst the world can do, take your physical form, is no longer the ultimate threat. You are eternal. This realization is the final gift within the package. It is the core of the message the courier brought. You are not who you think you are. You are far more, and you are forever. With this knowing cemented in your heart, your human life becomes a playground for your soul, a canvas for divine expression. You live with a lightness of being, a humor about the temporary dramas, and a profound seriousness about love. You are, at last, home. And from this home, you look out at the world not with fear, but with infinite compassion and a calm, unwavering commitment to shine. The warning has been heeded. The package is open. The light is yours. The end of seeking is the beginning of being. And in being, you are fulfilling the entire purpose of the message. And so you stand here, at the point where the message has not only been received and understood but has dissolved into the very cells of your being. There is no more separation between you and the truth that was delivered. The light you carry is no longer a concept or a temporary feeling. It is the fundamental fact of your existence, as natural and constant as your breath. The journey from hearing the knock to becoming the light is complete. Yet, in the divine paradox, completion is not an end, it is a new mode of beginning. You now begin to operate from a plane of consciousness where creation is instantaneous and intention is the only required force. The tools, the name, the map, the key, the sword, have served their purpose of awakening and have now integrated so fully that they are indistinguishable from you. You don't think about using them, you simply are them. Your awareness itself is the name vibrating in the eternal now. Your perception is the map, effortlessly navigating the present moment. Your will is the key, turning in perfect alignment with divine will. Your discernment is the sword, a clear channel of truth that requires no conscious thought to wield. This is mastery. It is not a state of perfection, but a state of seamless flow where even what you once called mistakes are seen as immediate course corrections in the grand navigation. In this flow, your life becomes a living prophecy, not of specific events, but of a quality of experience. You prophesy peace by being peace amidst chaos. You prophesy love by being love in the face of fear. You prophesy unity by seeing the one light in all forms. Your very presence becomes a silent, potent decree that reshapes the energy field around you. People may not understand why they feel calmer, more hopeful, or suddenly clear when they are near you. They are responding to the field you hold, a field generated by your unwavering connection to Source. You are a walking portal to a higher reality. Your primary function now is to simply maintain this connection, this clear channel. And you do this through the sacrament of the present moment. The past is a story you have forgiven and learned from. The future is a space of infinite potential you co-create from the now. Your power exists only in this eternal present. Here, in the now, you are in direct contact with the creative pulse of the universe. Here, you can choose, once again, to align with love. Every moment is a fresh choice point, a new opportunity to affirm your true nature. This moment-to-moment choosing is the highest form of prayer. It is no longer a ritual you perform, but a state you inhabit. You pray with your patience in the grocery line. You pray with your focus on a task. You pray with your kindness to a stranger. Your entire life becomes an unceasing communion. In this communion, the idea of asking for things becomes obsolete. You realize you are not a separate entity asking a separate God for favors. You are an individualized expression of the divine, and your desires, when filtered through the clarity of your true self, are already the divine's desires moving through you. Your role is to get out of the way, to let the current flow unimpeded by doubt or limiting beliefs. Your deepest, soul-level yearnings are not yours alone, they are the universe's way of fulfilling itself through your unique expression. So you move from asking to allowing, from pleading to receiving, from wanting to welcoming. And you welcome not with grasping hands, but with an open heart, knowing that what arrives is always for your highest evolution and the greatest good of all. The Archangel's presence, which once felt like an external guidance, is now recognized as an intrinsic aspect of your own empowered being, the archetypal energy of protection, courage, and truth that resides within the collective human spirit and has been activated within you. You call upon Michael not as an outside savior, but as the full expression of your own inner warrior of light. His command, "I order you to open this," is now understood as the voice of your own highest self, ordering the reluctant parts of your ego to stand down and let the soul lead. The order was an act of love from your own future, awakened self to your past, sleeping self. And you have obeyed. Now, you are the one who speaks that command of awakening, silently, through your vibration, to the world around you. Your life orders others to remember, not through words, but through the compelling evidence of a life lived without fear. As this process deepens, you will encounter the final frontier of the old self, the temptation to spiritual specialness. The mind may whisper that you are now, above others, that you have attained something rare. This is the last trap. True mastery is utterly humble. It knows that the light it carries is a gift given to all, simply accepted by a few. You see the same potential for this awakening in every single person you meet, no matter how deeply they sleep. You look into the eyes of a stranger and see a future master. You feel no superiority, only a fierce compassion and an unwavering certainty of the destiny. You become a servant to the awakening in others. You see your role not as a teacher on a stage, but as a gardener of consciousness, gently watering the seeds of light wherever you see them, knowing you may never see the bloom. Your success is measured not by followers or achievements, but by the quiet increase of peace in your own heart and the subtle shifts you witness in the collective field. You become a conscious contributor to the morphogenetic field of humanity, adding your frequency of awakened love to the reservoir that all souls can draw from. This is your most significant work. It requires no audience, no platform, just the integrity of your inner state. And from this place of humble service, a new kind of power emerges, a power that is gentle as a breeze and unstoppable as the tide. It is the power of inevitability. You know, with a certainty beyond faith, that love is the ultimate reality and that every soul will, in its own perfect time, remember this. You are not fighting against darkness, you are patiently, persistently, remembering light until the darkness, having no substance of its own, vanishes like a shadow in the sun. Your patience becomes infinite because you are aligned with eternity. Your joy becomes unshakable because its source is within. Your life becomes a beautiful, creative expression of this inner fulfillment. You may create art, build communities, heal bodies, invent technologies, or raise children, all with the same quality of sacred play. The outcome is surrendered. You do your part with excellence and love, and you release the rest to the intelligence that orchestrates the whole. You trust the universe completely. This trust is the final surrender, and it brings with it a profound relaxation into life. Struggle ends. Effort becomes focused flow. Life lives through you, and you are its grateful, joyful witness and participant. The message from the courier has now come full circle. It began as an external warning and has become your internal reality. The you that was afraid of missing the opportunity no longer exists. The you that remains is the opportunity itself, eternally present, eternally choosing, eternally becoming more of what it always was. The timeline of fear has dissolved. You walk the timeline of grace, where synchronicity is the norm, support is ever present, and every ending is a more beautiful beginning. You look back on your journey not with pride, but with gratitude for the love that pursued you so relentlessly, that knocked so patiently, that ordered you so fiercely to claim your destiny. And from this place of overflowing gratitude, your final act of receiving the package is to become the courier. Not with loud proclamations, but with the silent, potent offering of your own awakened life. You are now the sign for others. Your peace is the knock on the door. Your love is the package left at their threshold. Your freedom is the order to open it before it's too late. You have been delivered, and in so being, you have become the delivery. The circle is closed, yet endlessly open. The light that came for you is now the light that goes forth from you. And in this endless giving and receiving, you finally understand, you were never just the recipient of the message. You are the message, you are the courier, you are the Archangel's command. You are the open door. You are the gift, the giver, and the receiving, all at once. And in this knowing, you are free. Truly, completely, and forever free. The video may end, the words may stop, but the light you have ignited within yourself is a story that will now tell itself through you, forever.